Right. I'm Katie. Welcome to Stretch and Flow. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you haven't grabbed your mat, go ahead and grab one, roll it out. If you do not have one, a beach towel will also work very well. I'm also barefoot. I do recommend bare feet or sneakers. If you have socks on, I would take them off just so you don't slip around. We'll go ahead and get started in child's pose today. I'm going to try to hit everything head to toe in the next 30 minutes. But if something just feels absolutely right for you, you need to stay there a little bit longer, you're more than welcome to do so. Big toes come together, knees go out nice and wide as we stretch those arms forward and let the forehead fall down to the mat. Inviting those deep breaths in. Those nice long exhales. Good. Focus in on your breath. Focus in on any areas of tension you might be feeling. Anywhere that you might be able to breathe in a little bit deeper. Good. Exhale, press your hands down into the floor a little bit deeper. Just feeling that stretch activate through your back, underneath your arms. Good. Sink those hips back toward your heels a little bit more. Good. Deep inhale. As you breathe in, I want you to scrunch up your face like you just bit into a lemon. And then as you exhale, let it go. Relax your eyes, your cheeks, your jaw, your forehead. Good. Do that one more time. Inhale, scrunch it up. And exhale, relax. Let that go. Good. Wiggle your fingers. Let's draw those hands in below the shoulders. Press yourself up to a tabletop position, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And from here, I just want to wake up your wrists first before we put a bunch of pressure on them. So let's shift the weight forward and then shift the weight back. So palms are going to stay in place. You're rounding through the shoulders. Just a little bit of pressure as you shift forward, and then a little bit kind of toward the heel of that hand as you shift back. Good. Awareness in the core. Back nice and long. Perfect. Now meet me back in the middle. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Turn your hands out toward either side of the room and just take a little rock from right to left. Perfect. So separating those shoulder blades here. When you shift side to side, you might get a nice little stretch kind of around that rotator cuff as well. But for right now, we're really just focusing on those wrists and forearms. Perfect. Back to the center. Now rotate your hands so your fingers are pointed toward your knees. Good. And same thing we did before. I want you to shift back and front here. Good. So just opening up the inside of that forearm and wrist. No tension in the shoulders. Good. As always, shooting for discomfort, not pain. Good. One more time. Perfect. And release that. Go ahead, kind of circle out your wrists a few times. If you like taking that figure 8, you can do that as well. Good. Circle the other way. Perfect. Shake that out. Meet me back in your tabletop, looking straight down at the floor, knees under the hips. Let's move through our cat and cow. Inhale first. Then exhale, round your back, tuck your chin, working through that spine. And inhale, arch your back, look up into that cow. Good. Take a few more of those at your own pace. Round and release. Good. Breathing deep. Perfect. And meet me back in that neutral spine. From here, I want you to walk your hands over toward like the right corner of the room. So right away, you should feel this left side kind of lengthening. Inhale for me. And then exhale, I want you to shift your left booty cheek toward your left heel. Good. So nice, kind of like an angled child's pose. Took a class one time, they called this an angry child's pose. Good, really pressing into that left palm, sinking over toward that left side. Good, release. And let's walk it over toward the left side of the room. So kind of like front left corner. Inhale, and then exhale, shift right hip to right heel or something like it. Good, open up that whole side. This is a great stretch to do after you do like bowler or curtsy lunges or a lot of side lunges. So right after you do those, it's always really good to do something like this and lengthen it all out. So it gets super, super tight and we release it again. Good, press into that right hand for me. Good, and come on up back to that tabletop. From here, let's plant those hands into the floor. Curl the toes under, hips up and back. Find your first downward dog of the day. And let's walk it out. Good, lengthen the hips up and back, ears next to the biceps. Perfect, press both heels down for me. Bend those knees, step your feet up to your hands. When you get there, inhale, half lift and hold it. Shoulder blades down your back, lifting through that tailbone to flatten everything out. Good, next, exhale, release. Round it over, hold it here. If you want to come into your ragdoll, go ahead. Holding on to opposite elbows. Taking a tiny little sway side to side. Good, and come on back to the center. Release the arms, bend your knees carefully around your back, roll up to standing. Shoulders roll up, back and down when you get there. Let's take a few big circles back with those arms. Good, so bend in the elbows, we're just reaching up, back and around. Good. Awareness in your core. Go ahead, reverse that circle up, forward, and down. Do that 2 more times, please. Reach through your fingers. Very nice. And 1 for good measure. Arms wrapped behind your back. Roll the shoulders up, back and down. Open the chest. Hold this here for me. Knees are soft. Awareness in that core. Face is relaxed. If you're feeling really good here, go ahead. Lift your hands up away from your tailbone. Good. Carefully release those hands. Big bear hug forward. Interlace the fingers. Round the back. Pull the knuckles toward the front of the room. Kind of tuck your tailbone underneath you. And here we're just getting into that upper back. A little bit of your mid back. Beautiful. Inhale, reach it up, 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 up. And exhale, swan dive forward, back toward the floor. Inhale, half lift. Good, and release. This time, hands find the floor. Step or hop it back to that high plank. Nice strong core, pulling the belly button to the spine. Knees float down to the floor for our first chaturanga. Hug the elbows in, lower chest to floor. Good, sweep it through cobra. Let's stay here. Good, soft elbows. We're pressing the floor away from us. Shoulders down, chin up. Head drops over toward the right shoulder. If this is too much on your back, I want you to bend your elbows. Good. Switch your head over, drop left ear, left shoulder. Perfect. Head comes back to the center. Inhale. Exhale, curl the toes under. Find that downward dog again and pedal it out. Good. Hips up and back. Perfect. Drive both heels down. Let's soften the knees. Step feet to hands again. Inhale, half lift. Hands to shins or thighs. Exhale, release. Inhale, carefully roll up to standing. We'll take one more sun salutation. When you're ready, inhale, arms rise. Look between the hands. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Very nice. And release. Bend the knees as much as you need to get those hands on the floor. Step it back, high plank. Knees or toes, chaturanga. We lower everything down together. Sweep it through, cobra. And exhale, down dog. Great job. Pedal it out. Good. Press both heels down. From here, we'll go ahead and kick that right leg up. Single leg dog, lengthen through the toes. And I want you to rotate that right hip forward. So hips are nice and even. You can wake up that ankle, draw a couple of circles each direction. Good, get out those bubble wrap pops. Bend the knee, sweep that right foot forward toward the top of your mat. Back heel is gonna stay where it is for now. When you're situated, go ahead. Arms up, chest up. Sink in, crescent lunge. Tucking the hips forward. Dropping the shoulders down. Energy out of that back heel. Good. This one's uncomfortable. It's okay. Breathe. Perfect. Inhale. Exhale, we're gonna open this up to warrior two. So turn that left foot out so the heel can plant. Good, bigger bend in the right knee. So feet are kind of perpendicular to each other. Shoulders down. I really never thought I'd use geometry. Is that geometry? Perpendicular? Probably like all math. I really never thought I would use any math. I was just really bad at it. Good, good. Flip your front palm over for me as you inhale. Exhale, reach that right arm up and over, reverse warrior. Yes, your back is arching. Yes, you also have to breathe here. Look up toward the sky. Left hand is resting on the back of your left leg. Your front knee is still tracking toward the middle of your foot. Good. Exhale, windmill your hands to the floor and rotate your back heel up. You're going to meet me in that low lunge. Very nice. Stay here, just press the hips straight down. Knee on top of ankle, elbows are soft. Inhale. Exhale, step it on back. Down dog, pedal it up. Good, drive the heels closer and closer to the mat. Good, and when you're ready, left leg up. Square off the hips, lengthen through the toes, circle out the ankle. Good, circle both directions. Bend the knee, sweep that left foot to the top of your mat. Crescent lunge. Shoulders stacked on top of hips. I'm gonna face you guys for the rest here. Left knee tracking toward the middle of your left foot. Good, sinking in. Little reminder, little tip here for balance, if you need it, you can take this back foot out a little bit wider, and that wider base of support will always help us balance a little bit better. Okay, breathe. Tucking the hips forward, relaxing the shoulders down. I should probably change that. I always say that. You're not relaxing them down. You're like physically pressing them down because they want to creep up so much. On your next exhale, go ahead, open this up. Warrior 2. Left foot forward, right foot turned out. Perfect. Left foot tracking toward the middle of your foot. Arms are reaching out. We're gazing over that left hand. Probably shouldn't tell you guys how bad I am at math. I know y'all are smart. Good. When you are ready, we'll flip that palm over. Inhale. Exhale, up and over, reverse warrior. Right hand resting on the back of that right leg. You are breathing. Good. We're feeling that nice opening in the left side. I know we're holding this one a little bit longer than you want to. You got it though. Inhale. And exhale, window the hands down to the floor. Back heel rises, find your low lunge. Reminder here, a lot of times we find like weird knee or hip pain, and a lot of that is because our weight is just shifted too far forward. So take a moment, maybe scoot your back foot back a little bit more, just shift your weight back a little bit more, and make sure that knee and ankle are in a straight line. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Good, deep inhale. Exhale, step back, down dog, pedal it out. Hips up nice and high. You can stay right here, or I invite you to join me in Dolphin. All that means is we're gonna lower down to the forearms. Everything else is going to stay exactly the same. So very, very similar to our downward dog, but here, we're gonna get into our low back a little bit more. Good, tuck the chin, look between the knees or the feet. Try your best to flatten out the back, straighten out the legs. Perfect, and carefully lower your knees all the way down to the floor. From here, if you're not down on your forearms, go ahead and get there. I want you to flip your palms over and then draw your fingertips toward your shoulders. From there, you're gonna press your hips back to your heels, kind of like if you were going back into your child's pose. But now we're really gonna drive those elbows down into the floor, and you can be farther away, your hips can be up as high as you need here. Good, and here we're getting into our triceps. So really press those elbows down, kind of like you're stretching out the skin between your shoulder and your elbow. Good, keep pressing down, keep breathing. Chin is slightly tucked here. Relax your face, press down a little bit deeper. Perfect, and carefully release, flip those palms over. We're gonna shift the weight forward, lower down, meet me on your belly. So hands are gonna go out nice and wide, outside the shoulders, kind of like goalpost arms. Inhale, peel your chest up off the floor, kind of like a really wide cobra. From here, rotate your right shoulder down toward the mat. Good, and hold here. Go ahead and look at your left hand as you open up the front of that shoulder. And now that I'm down on the floor, I'm noticing that there is like mud everywhere. Me and Joey were playing outside, and it's very muddy and wet in Ohio right now. Exhale, rotate the left shoulder down. Go ahead and look at your right hand. Shoulder blades pressing down your back. Legs are just relaxed here. Good, inhale, meet me back in the center. And exhale, just lower all the way down onto your belly. Take your hands right underneath your forehead, and I just want you to rest here for one breath. Just relax in and out. Good. From here, go ahead, bring your feet a little bit closer together. I want you to bend your right knee, so pull that right heel towards your glute. And then the right hand can reach back for your ankle, your foot, or your pant leg. Good, and we're just gonna open up that quadricep. Perfect. If you want more, you can engage the glutes, really drive the hip bones down into the floor. Good. I do not want your thigh or your knee leaving the floor. That strains, and we just want to stretch. So think more of pressing the hips into the floor. Perfect. Carefully release. And then when you're ready, make your way to the other side. So flex that left foot, pull the heel toward the glute, and then left hand can reach back around for it. Help pull in a little bit more. We'll engage the glutes, press the hips down toward the floor. Good, and breathe here into the front of that left thigh. So here, you should have the same feeling when you do this standing quad stretch. So same thing, but we're balancing. Should be tucking the hips forward, engaging the glutes, and making sure those knees stay close together. So often we do like really weird things here. We forget to tuck the hips forward, we pull on that knee, when really we just want to be opening up the quads and the hip flexors. We're very hard on ourselves. Perfect. Carefully release that. Both hands under the forehead. Just relax the legs down. Inhale. And exhale. Good. When you're ready, hands under your shoulders. Knees stay down on the floor. Go ahead. Push yourself back through your tabletop. And then lower down to a seated position. We're going to go through our 90-90 stretch. But we're going to change it just a little bit today. So right leg forward. Left leg back behind you. 90-degree bends in both knees. Remember, knee and hip. Knee and ankle, and then ankle to your toes. Try to square off the hips as much as you can. So pressing that right hip forward, kind of pulling that left hip back. We're going to start by just reaching those arms out wide and taking a little hinge forward. Perfect. Doesn't have to be huge. Relax your shoulders, soften the elbows. As you get more comfortable, feel free to walk those hands forward a little bit more. But again, keep focusing on that left hip drawing forward, right hip kind of rotating back. Good, and if you'd like, fold into it. This is an easy one to let that right side take over. Make sure the left side is still rotating down or forward. Perfect. Come on out of that. We're going to switch sides. Challenge. You can switch sides by taking the hands behind you. Good. And then folding, kind of floating the knees up and over. So good for your hip mobility. If that doesn't work for you, just swing the opposite leg around in front. Same idea. So left leg forward, right leg back. We're going to square off those hips. 90 degrees-ish, give or take. Maybe it's 80, maybe it's 100. Again, math, not my strong suit. Arms reach out, soften the elbows, and let's hinge forward and breathe. We'll say little fractions. No, thank you. You ever see that video where like the teacher like cuts his tie? That's what I needed. Good, sink in a tiny bit deeper. Right hip forward, left hip pulling back. Perfect. Inching forward, breathing forward. And if you'd like to fold it forward, go ahead, but don't forget about that right hip. Still pulling forward, left hip still pulling back. Perfect. Carefully come on out of that. And we're gonna try that little hip mobility together just for fun. Again, all of your videos are off, so not a big deal. Hands are gonna come back behind you, but nice and wide. So to start here, you're gonna start by pressing into the right foot, lifting the right knee up. As it does so, left side is gonna lift up as well. And then look at that, we're on the other side, 90-90. Try to bring it back, just humor me, just humor me. Take your time. Good, so good for your hip mobility. Try to do this like a couple times a week. Good, but then the real challenge is trying to see if you can do it with no hands. That one took me a while. Good, when you're ready, swing that leg around in front of you, maybe in a butterfly. Soles of the feet come together, we sit up nice and tall, inhale. And then let's exhale, hinge it forward. Elbows fall to the inner thighs. You can press down just a little bit there to open up the hip a little bit more. I don't know if you guys can hear my dog or not. If you can, I'm very sorry, but you would think there was like a puppy parade outside my house with how much Joey's been barking today. Good, come on up. Let's send those legs straight out to the side. Sit up nice and tall. Remember, when we hinge forward, I want you to keep the knees up. I don't want them to rotate forward. So keep that nice straight line from your hip to your knee to the center of your foot. And then just walk it forward until you feel that stretch in your inner thighs. Hold it here. You know, I'm gonna go outside and there's gonna be like 9 packages outside my door. And Joey's just gonna look at me like, you did this. Good, carefully come on up out of that. Bend your knees, bring those feet together. Let's hug behind those hamstrings and carefully lower down all the way to the floor. When you get there, hug the knees into the chest. Let's take our little rock side to side, just kind of massaging around that spine. Good, hold on to that right knee. Send the left leg out. Hold here for a moment. If you want a little bit more, take that right knee, let it fall over toward the left side of the room. Good, right arm can reach out to the side. We press that right shoulder down to the floor for a nice big twist. Perfect, carefully roll it back to the center if you're not there already. And switch legs, pull the left knee in, send that right leg out. If this is too much on your back, reminder, you can always bend that opposite leg as well. Holding here, pull that knee to chest. And if you'd like, let that left knee fall over toward the right side. Left arm reaches out wide, pressing that shoulder down, down, down. Perfect. Carefully bring it back to the center. Hug both knees to your chest one more time. Deep, deep inhale. And exhale, float those feet down to the floor. Rest your hands on your belly for me. Close your eyes. Good. And bring your breath back to those deep, slow inhales that we started with. And those nice long exhales. Staying here with me for the next 30 seconds. Reminder that you've taken your time for yourself here. Set it out. Honor it. All the to-do lists, the thought bubbles that are popping up, let them float away. Come right back to your breath. Perfect. If and when you're ready, you can make your way to a seated position. Sitting up nice and tall, facing the front of the room. The eyes can stay closed. We'll take one more breath here together today. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, hands find their way to heart center. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me today. You guys are wonderful. Namaste. Have a great rest of your day. And I hope to see you. I will be back on Thursday for your quick stretch at 2 p.m. I hope to see you there. Bye, guys.